Hello, welcome to FlixWater YouTube channel. Today, I want to talk about a common issue that many well owners face: muddy well water. Having a private well has its benefits, like free water and great taste, but sometimes the water can become contaminated with mud and soil, making it look and taste dirty. So, let's dive into the topic of muddy well water and discuss how to filter it effectively. When your well water turns muddy, it's important to find the source of the problem. I recommend contacting a professional who can test your water and identify the root cause. Once the source is determined, you can work on implementing a treatment plan to remove the mud and improve the overall quality of your water. One common cause of muddy well water is a broken well pipe. If dirt and surface runoff find their way into the pipe, it can lead to muddy water. Rusty pipes are often the culprit in such cases. The presence of iron, manganese, rust, silt, tannins, and even the well itself can contribute to a brownish, reddish, or yellowish color in the water. It's worth noting that rust, after proper treatment, doesn't pose any health risks. Additionally, an influx of silt at the bottom of the well can result in cloudy, muddy water. So, what can you do if you're dealing with muddy well water? Well, if you have a sediment filter, it's a good idea to replace it. In some cases, muddy water may indicate a low water level in the well due to groundwater depletion. If that's the case, you might need to install a filtration system to restore water purity. Another option is to consider an air injection filtration system. Rain can also contribute to muddy well water. If there's a leak in the wellhead seal or pipe, rainwater runoff can contaminate your well. This type of leak usually doesn't introduce harmful contaminants like bacteria, nitrates, or fertilizers into the well. When rainwater pollutes the ground, it can seep into your well, leading to contamination. A broken well pipe is a common cause of muddy well water, among other possibilities. If you're experiencing brown water from your well, you may need to treat it accordingly, depending on the specific source of the problem. During heavy rainstorms, nearby areas can wash dirt into rivers, causing turbidity. In some cases, well water may contain manganese and iron due to poor water quality. It's also worth considering that adding more construction to the sewer system can lead to sediment buildup in the water. Now, let's explore how mud finds its way into your well water in the first place. There are a few common issues related to your well structure and components that can contribute to muddy water. First, the construction of your well plays a significant role. A properly constructed well by an experienced well driller is usually free of mud. However, if an inexperienced person constructed your well, drilling mistakes might have occurred, leading to muddy water. If you suspect that the construction of your well is the issue, it's best to consult an experienced well driller or contractor for further inspection and guidance. The size and position of the well pump can also affect water quality. If the pump is too large for the well, sand and silt can be forced into the water supply. Similarly, if the pump sits too low in the well, it can pull mud and sand from the surrounding aquifer. It's advisable to set the well pump at a minimum of 10 to 20 feet above the well's base to avoid these issues. The well screen or casing is another important component. It prevents sand and silt from entering the well while allowing water from the surrounding rock beds to flow in. If the screen or casing is eroded or degraded, sand and silt can easily enter the well, resulting in muddy water. In such cases, repairing or replacing the damaged screen or casing is necessary. Corroded pipes can also contribute to muddy water. If the pipe connecting your home with the well pump or tank is corroded, the water passing through it can become discolored with rust. An experienced plumber can help track the source of the rust and replace the corroded pipes. Another common cause of muddy well water is the presence of iron, manganese, and other metals. Water traveling through bedrocks and aquifers can absorb these elements in large quantities, giving the water a muddy appearance. Installing an iron or manganese filter is often necessary to eliminate these impurities from your well water. Shallow wells, typically less than 50 feet deep, are more susceptible to contamination from organic matter, sand, and dirt. During rainfall or flooding, these contaminants can easily run off into shallow wells, making the water appear muddy. Now, let's discuss how to filter muddy well water effectively. Before you start filtering the water, it's essential to take a few preliminary steps. First, have your well inspected by a professional to determine the cause of the muddy water. If you can't identify the issue, consider getting a well driller or pump contractor to also help remove the mud. Pump and run your water until it's clear and free from any traces of mud. Make sure to direct the flushing water to nearby drainage instead of your septic system or public sewer. If flushing doesn't solve the problem, it's time to conduct a well water test. This will provide detailed information about the impurities and minerals present in your water. You can use simple water test kits, but for more accurate results, it's best to take a water sample to a state-certified laboratory. Once you've identified the cause of the muddy water, it's time to add an appropriate well water filtration system. If your well contains sand and silt, sediment water filters are recommended. Some effective types of sediment filters include spin-down/centrifugal filters, cartridge-based sediment filters, and backwashing filter systems. These filters help trap and remove large particles and sediments from the water. If your well water tests positive for minerals like iron or manganese, installing an iron or manganese filter is advisable. These filters specifically target and eliminate these impurities. Ensuring cleaner water. Remember, filtering muddy well water requires proper diagnosis of the problem and selecting the right filtration system based on the specific contaminants present in your water. If you have any questions about filtering muddy well water or need further assistance, feel free to leave a comment below. I hope this video has provided you with valuable insights and solutions for dealing with muddy well water. Stay informed and take the necessary steps to ensure clean and safe water for you and your family. Thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe to our channel for next topics or click to see the next videos on the right.